commitments. This, my friends, is the magic that will change everything for your life. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this special episode of Kevin at 7. It is Tuesday, January 3rd, and this is where the rubber meets the road. This is why New Year's resolutions don't work for people. Has nothing to do with New Year's resolutions. So if you're like, I don't do New Year's resolutions, okay, get over it. It's not about New Year's resolutions. This is about you and your success. This is about you and what is stopping you or what will propel you forward to greater heights of achievement than ever before. And it is about learning the difference between and the power of your commitments versus your feelings, your emotions. And here's what people don't realize. I talk about the 7 domains, the different areas of your life. And when we talk about our fitness, we talk about our finances, we talk about our family. One of the things nobody talks about is the power of your feelings, your emotion as a major domain in your life. Like, it is the most powerful and controlling domain in your life. So think about it. Right now, everything that you are doing, how much of what you have done this morning has been based on feeling, what you felt like doing? Did you get up? Like, did you snooze the alarm? I didn't feel like getting up. Okay, when you got up this morning, did you follow a pattern of habits like commitment, or did you just like once you get in social media, for example, you're following your feelings. If you start posting on social media, 90% of you, when you start getting on social media, you're following your feelings. When you get to the office today, if you're a business owner, if you're a real estate agent or an entrepreneur, when you get to the office today, when you get to your office today, whether it's home or business, you show up. Are you following your commitments, i.e. your schedule, or are you following your feelings? Well, I just feel like right now I want to check my email. Well, I had this issue going on with this transaction. I need to check that. So is that because of a commitment of this is the time in your schedule that you're supposed to do that? Or is it a feeling of like, oh no, if I don't check, it could go wrong. What if? And most of us spend our lives following our feelings, not our commitments. Now, I just want you to soak on this for a minute because this is one of the most critical things. Guys, your superpower, the first and great superpower is commitment. Can you set your word, you're gonna do something and then actually do it? And do you do it? Do you do it all the time? When you say you're gonna do something, do you do it? That's called commitment. When I say I'm gonna do it, I do it. I say I'm gonna do it, I do it. Or I say I'm gonna do it and then I don't do it. And look back over the last 2 days since 2023 started, how many times have you already said something and didn't do what you said? I've had it happen to me. And I consider myself to be advanced. I consider myself to be elite. And I still struggle with this idea of keeping my commitments 100% of the time. And I see people that are like they're bastions of their word. Like they say they're gonna do something, they do it every time and they never fail. This, my friends, is where you get true power. It is the first and the most critical of all superpowers is, can you follow your commitments? Okay, when you make a commitment, can you and do you keep it? So here's the question I have. When it comes to not keeping your commitments, what emotions are the most powerful that take you off track? Okay, what emotions do you struggle with the most? So here are the common ones. Fear. Fear is probably the most common. Here's another one. Guilt. Shame. Self-doubt, like doubt. Anxiety. Worry. These are emotions that just like rip us apart. Like, yeah, but what if? If what if comes up, if that's your question that you ask before you make a decision or take an action, and you say, well, what if this? That is a fear question. It is an expectation of things going wrong. Okay, so your expectation is, oh no, things are gonna go wrong. That is fear. It is an expectation of pain, an expectation of discomfort. So here's my question. What negative emotion is most powerful in your life right now? What negative, and if you have the courage, I'm going to challenge you to type it in the chat right now. Is it fear? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it doubt? Is it uncertainty? These are all kind of related, but they may have a little different angle in your mind. Okay, is it shame? Is it guilt over something you did in the past? Is it guilt over something you're doing right now that you feel guilty when you do it? Like I feel like I need to be spending more time with my family. I feel like I need this happened and I need to talk about it. I need to do something about it. And the guilt is telling you it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. What emotion do you struggle with the most? So type it in the chat. I got doubt. I have a doubt. I have a worry. Yep. Okay, so now, what causes these emotions? Let me get here what's going on. Doubt, fear. Okay, good, Matthew. I know I self-limit. I don't think I deserve. Okay, so this is a feeling of unworthiness, right? And I would call that self-doubt. Okay, it can be self-condemnation. Okay, just depending on what your thoughts are, but we all agree this is like, okay, this is a negative emotion, and this emotion holds you back. Now think about that for a minute. This emotion, which has no tangible reality, it's just inside of you, it's in your head, it's inside of you, can literally stop a grown man. It can literally stop a grown woman from taking action. It is more powerful than a locked door. It is an emotion, and we allow it. We make a commitment. I am going to do X, Y, and Z, and we give our word, and we know it's possible for us to do it. Like, I'm going to start prospecting at 8 a.m. We give our word. Is it that hard? Is it really that hard to start prospecting at a certain time every day? No, it's not hard. What's hard? What's hard is ruling over the emotion that says, yeah, but what if? Yeah, but you know that's going to be painful. And so worry, self-doubt, fear, those emotions show up and they go like, you are not going to prospect today. You are not going to lead follow-up today. You are not going to stay on your schedule today because it's too hard. Here's what you're going to do instead. Instead, you're going to get on social media. Instead, you're going to check your email. Instead, you're going to hit the snooze button. Working out today, that's too hard. It's cold, it's rainy. So instead, you're not going to keep your word. Instead, you're going to sit there and watch YouTube. And you are following your feelings rather than your commitments. You follow your feelings rather than commitments. Guess what your feelings do? Your feelings lead you to failure. Commitments are what lead you to success. Because your commitments are the decisions that you make in moments of strength, in moments of certainty, in moments of resolve. Like, this is what I want, and this is how I get there. And so like in a moment, we make a decision like, okay, here's my commitment. But then when we get in the moment, we get away from the moment of the decision. When we had this feeling, we had this mood that says, I can do this, I can do anything. And we get into a weakened mood, and we're like, oh yeah, but. And here's the reason, I've heard somebody call this approach avoidance. As we get closer to the moment of action on our decision, then all these thoughts start coming up. Well, these thoughts, what's coming up is emotion. So these thoughts come up like, what if? And those are emotions kind of like saying, hello, come on, listen to me. If you do this, this could mean pain. And you go, oh, I know, oh, pain? I don't want pain, discomfort, but what if? And fear goes like, what if? Guilt says, naughty. And you're like, oh, I know. And so what happens is we shut down and we bow the knee to our emotions and to our fear. Now, when you do this over and over and over again, this becomes a pattern. And so the pattern becomes a habit. Or if it is another emotion, could be desire. It could be lust. Now, it could be desire to sedate. So if you get a desire to avoid an emotion or avoid a situation, so you go like, I'm going to sedate. Now, you can sedate with alcohol. You can sedate with physical substances like drugs. You can sedate with pot. You can sedate with Netflix. Okay, you can sedate with pornography. You can sedate with something that takes your, now like in this moment of confrontation, this moment of decision, I need to do X, but I don't want to do X, so I am going to choose to follow my feelings on an easier path because there's less pain in the moment. And when you do this over and over and over again, what you create is a habit. Or if it is something that over time, it actually becomes an addiction. Okay, so we think of substances, but it can be a physical substance. It can also be a behavioral addiction. You learn to sedate or avoid potential discomfort by following your emotions. And this is where it starts, guys. It all starts with you got your commitments here, what you should do, what you know is right to do, and you've got your feelings here, which is what you want to do or what feels like, how it feels. And you're like, these are battle scars. I just saw these. These are battle scars from my puppy. Yes, I have a 50-pound, 7 to 18-week-old puppy, 50 pounds, 18 weeks. And his teeth are like razors. We play, he makes a mistake, he grabs mama, and it's just like, ouch. Anyway, you follow, when you got your feelings here, your commitments here and your feelings here, and they just bumped heads. Who's gonna win? Well, you get to choose who you're going to follow. You bow the knee to your commitments or you bow the knee to your emotions. If your emotions win, boom, commitments break and you lose. You will fail. Now, this is where it comes down to the end. This is why most people that get into business on their own don't succeed. It's not because they don't know what to do. It's not because they aren't willing to work hard enough. Because if you came out of a job where you had a boss and you had responsibilities and you got paid based on you fulfilling those responsibilities, we know you know how to work. We know you know how to show up because you did it for years. But now you went and started your own business, and before your commitment was to follow a protocol somebody else gave you, and there was this compulsion over you, which was the boss. And it was the knowledge that if I don't do it, I lose my job, which means I lose my paycheck, which means I can't take care of my family. So there was this awareness that if I don't keep my commitments, there is immediate pain. Okay, and it's like non-negotiable. You know it's coming. But when we start our own business, then we can start deceiving ourselves like, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, a boss is not gonna say, you're like, I don't wanna go to work today, so I'll show up tomorrow. Well, you know a boss is not gonna take that. But when you're the boss and you own your own business, you can do that. You can get away with it for a little bit of time. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you feeling this? So I want you to, if you're feeling this, I want you to type in the comments right now, follow your commitments, not your feelings. Type it in the comments. Follow your commitments, not your feelings. Okay? Follow your commitments, not your feelings. So yes, John, it's all about choice. But the thing is like we choose based on these two competing realities. You got the one reality is your commitments. This is my word. This is my goals. This is what I say I'm going to do. Thank you, guys. Follow your commitments, not your feelings. So you got this choice, which is what I commit to do. This choice is my feelings. Your feelings are more powerful for most people, and especially this is one of the things that concerns me about what we're doing with our children today, the way we're raising them, the way they're being raised in pop culture and education is if your emotions they rule you. And if anybody does anything that gets your emotions all bent out of shape, and we're teaching our kids to be emotionally powerless, that their feelings like, that hurt my feelings. And so immediately you collapse and become a victim, and somebody else's responsibility is to heal your emotions. My friends, grow up. If you're allowing or tolerating this in your children or your grandchildren, or you're seeing this, and you're allowing it, or even worse, if you're falling into it, and I guarantee you that you're being impacted by this because it's just around us everywhere. And that is, if somebody does something that pisses me off or hurts my feelings, or I get upset or I get triggered, then I have rights to be a victim. Screw that. The moment you choose that and you choose to allow your emotions to control your response, you just gave up your power to control your life. Because now what other people do controls your life. Because if they don't do it just the way you like, then you're going to get all bent out of shape, and your emotions going to take over, and now your emotions are ruling you, and it's their fault. It's time for you to take ownership. Okay, your choice. So when somebody does something that offends me, it's my choice how I'm going to respond to that. Okay, we commit to, let me just get some what's going on here. Follow your commitments, not your feelings. Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. This is the key. And your feelings are going to try to take control. Most of you are used to following your feelings. Okay, what's up, Carolina? Good to see you guys. All right, Realtor Katie Jones says we continue to others and do everything we can to keep those, yet so often we let ourselves down. Okay, Katie, I'm not exactly sure what you're saying here, what that you mean by that. We commit to others, and I'm guessing you're talking about your commitment, and then we do everything we can to keep those. See, I don't think that is true. Katie, I'm not, when we commit to others and then we do everything we can, and yet so often we let ourselves down, you're not doing everything you can. If you're making a commitment, not keeping, you're not doing everything you can. It's not, this is part of the commitment problem, is the reason you lose, everybody here, the reason you lose is because you still give yourself a choice. You give yourself a choice. We make a commitment, I'm gonna try my best, but you don't make it absolute. You don't make it a whatever it takes, this is do or die. I said I'm gonna do it, I will do it, or I will die. I said I will do it, I will not go to bed until it's done. It took me 10 hours longer than I thought. Yep, it's called your commitment. And here's the thing, guys. Commitment, emotion. The one that wins is the one that gets stronger. The one you feed, it's kind of like the old story of the wolf, the wolves. The wolf you feed is the wolf that grows. It's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but it's like if you feed your commitment, meaning every time you exercise your commitment and you keep it, every time you exercise your commitment and you keep it, the power of your commitment grows stronger. That superpower gets stronger. Every time you take your emotion and you allow it to rule, you make it stronger. And when you follow your emotions instead of your commitments, okay, every time you allow this one to win, your emotions win, commitment gets beat up, commitment gets weaker. And so it's like, I tried my best. No, you didn't. You tried until it got uncomfortable. You tried until you got tired. And then you gave in. Guys, I get it. This is how, I've lived this for years. This is still the war. This is where the battle is right now. The battle with the economy and all the stuff that's happening in the housing market and real estate and all that kind of stuff right now. Is that your emotion of fear and your emotion of uncertainty and like, oh no, and we got to go into survival mode is now you're taking and you're letting your fears dictate your behavior. And your fear comes up over and over and now you're talking about it. And so your fear becomes your constant thought. Okay, now let's take that where that leads to. When you allow your fear to control the conversation in your head, it now is controlling what you're thinking. When you allow your commitments to control your feeling, your thoughts in your head, okay, your commitment is now controlling your thinking. Now this goes back to the law of success. Here's the law of success. You become what you think about. You bring into your life what you think about in your mind. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. According to your faith is what you believe. What your thoughts allow you to believe. I believe it's going to go wrong. I believe it's not. I believe they're going to say no. What if? Those thoughts now, according to what your expectation is, that's what's going to happen for you. So when you're following your feelings and your feeling of fear shows up or your feeling of guilt or whatever, guess what you're going to bring into your life? That thought is going to create that reality. Thoughts become things. You become what you think about. And so my commitment must dominate my thoughts. Your commitment must dominate your thoughts every single day or you will lose. That's it. I got a role play call I got to get ready for. I got to get to the office. You guys have a great day, but follow your commitments, not your feelings. Follow your commitments, not your feelings. If you don't have your ticket to Agent Mastery Live, go to agentmasterylive.com. Get your ticket. We've started now the pre-training. So I want you in that with me. If you're a real estate agent and you want to win and your commitments are big this year and you want to win, make sure you got your ticket. agentmasterylive.com. Get your tickets. I'll see you guys on the path. We will see you tomorrow. There's one day this week I have another commitment that I will not be able to be on Kevin to 7, but I think I'll be on tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Play to win. Always expect yes, and follow your commitments, not your feelings.